Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and it's time for our weekly painting progress. I got myself a big old cup of coffee and some fresh taiyaki here to munch on a nice and pleasant Sunday evening, which means you're all watching this on a Monday morning. And we got a whole whopping one model done from Mr. Percival Sparkle Trout, but what a model it is. I think he did a lovely job on this ogre. I want to say, oh gosh, I'm going to put the link down below. I cannot remember 100% who did it. I know it was a Patreon printed model. The yellow there, just check out the highlights and details on those pieces of power armor. House is something. I cannot remember. I promise it will be the first thing I put in the comments down below. But yeah, it's a Patreon that specializes in very Necromunda models. And this guy was like a super totally modular figure. Tons of different bits and pieces that you can configure him with. But I like how Sparkle Trout went with the trucker cap. And all the metal bits that he could. Totally going to fit in with his miners. So yeah, that's about all he got done. And I gotta say, quite an impressive paint job in person, to the point that even my wife, who usually at the most chastises me over my painting and printing and YouTubing, was like, wow, he did a really nice job. So when she says something, that means something. Me, on the other hand, I did get a few things finished this week. I spent a lot of my time goofing around painting Gear Guts Heavy Templars. And they are all in various shapes and sizes. Now, I didn't do the best edge highlighting on this. I will be the first to admit that, and I actually missed a few of his rivets, darn it. I thought I got them all. I don't remember where he did this one originally. I want to say it was probably with Maker's Cult. One of the things, a lot of the Gear Guts sculpts are available through his cults and Patreon sites. But they're more stripped down, so they're going to be free of all the bling if you want to use them for whatever your favorite chapter is. But he's a big, chunky dude. It's a 50mm base he's on. I would assume that he's probably supposed to be like a Centurion. But that's half the fun of these guys, is I have no idea. You can use them for whatever. And Gear Guts has done a whole bunch of different Marine-style models. So we have this big heavy support guy, and then we have these Blade Champions. I know I need to fix that up. That did not come out nice. And they're also quite big. He's on a 40mm base. And totally unrelated armor styles. And the funny thing is, I've got two other Gear Guts models that I'm goofing around with at the moment, who have even different style body types, which is pretty neat. I like having a variety of armors. And then I believe this is one of his Blade Champion models. Ooh, and his incense sensor survived. I've broken it a few times now. So interestingly enough, they have these guys. I like the blade like that. That's pretty cool. With both claw options. You can see he's got a similar style blade strapped on there. There are hammer options, sword and shield options. So very different variety in how all they look, which again I really like. But I wasn't satisfied with just these Black Templars. I have a feeling I'm going to be putting together a Black Templar warband, because then I went and started messing around with some of the Atlan Forge Black Templars. So the first thing I did was print up, I mean they're not called Black Templars obviously, but I printed up one of their heavy weapons dudes, and since I'm just doing whatever, I don't have to follow any rules, and I can have both a rocket launcher and plasma, laser gun, whatever it is, on the same guy, and there's nothing you can do about it. I really love the fact that so many of these 3D sculptors have such a variety in terms of how they interpret the traditional Space Marine. And to me, that's one of the coolest things. Obviously, this is a Terminator equivalent. Here would be a regular Marine equivalent. Still a little bit bigger than a Primaris. But I mean, our Ogre's like ready to tangle with our Claw champion there. But I just the sheer variety of everybody here really makes for some fun models. But that wasn't enough. I needed to have some kind of heavy weapon support that is not in a Terminator suit, so we went ahead and printed up another one of these guys from Atlan Forge. And I am a sucker for anybody wheeling around belt-fed ammo in the grim dark of the far future. This targeting sight looks a little silly. We'll probably have to go back over that a little bit. But considering I gotta go fix up some of those rivets that I missed, that's okay. So I feel like we got a nice little mix of both close combat and heavy weapon support, but there's no like basic tactical guys. Here we can have Guts hanging out with them. That was my plan after all. But as promised, I did say I was going to try to finish up some Kingdom Death stuff. So I went ahead and actually finished the Manhunter, who's probably in the running for longest unfinished model I've had laying around. I probably started him back after the original Kickstarter campaign, and he sat on my table for quite some time. But he's done. Enough. Good enough. That's good enough for me. I know there's some fabulous renditions of him online, but, it's okay with mine being average. And in addition to him, we got the guy who I don't even think I've ever posted a video on, but he's already painted. And you can't see him. There we go. I don't even know what he's called now. Grimace? Grimy? Grimmarcus? I truly don't know. Now I know that he has a similar style armor getup compared with that new Amy figure, I believe was the latest one after the Easter sale, which of course I got Pasha coming in, the Easter Bunny looking girl, within the next few days, so I'll probably put a video up on her once I get her put together. But every time I saw one or the other, neither of them would both be in stock at the same time, and I had a field trip the day that they came up. The one field trip of the year, which of course Mr. Poots decides to put new models up and available, so I missed out, but that's okay. I don't know if I'm going to have, well, I'm going to attempt to continue steamrolling through my Kingdom Death releases. If we don't get any updates or stuff shipping soon, I'm just going to have to paint everything. And so while we may have a bit of a monochromatic look for the week, we still have things finished, and that's what counts. I can pretty much guarantee in the next few weeks, as my family gets ready to pack it up and head back to Japan for a while without me, we'll probably see a major lull in how much I get done, and then a massive uptake in how much gets finished. So if you don't see a whole lot from me at the end of the month, let me get readjusted, and I'm sure after that I'll just be busy pumping both videos and painted figures out, so that'll be fun. And I got to get to a lot more of my plastic model kits. They're starting to pile up. I've got about almost a dozen. That's frightening. Yeah, we got to work on that. All right, so if you're curious, we're going to have links down below where you can scoop up any of these models. Then again, most of them are printed, so you're going to have to print them yourselves, obviously. But we'll have those links if you want to snatch some of those up. And while we're at it, we'll also have a link for our Patreon page where if you wish to further enjoy our channel and help support it, your gratuity and graciousness is always appreciated. So with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye!